The Nintendo Wii U. This is a console that very few people actually played or owned. No one seemed to understand what the system was actually supposed to be. Was it a true next-gen console or just an add-on to the Nintendo Wii? Because of the success of its competition from Microsoft and Sony, this console ended up failing in terms of sales. Just like many of you, I never owned a Wii U at launch. In fact, except for maybe one time playing Smash Bros. Where I didn't even use the gamepad, I've never played a Wii U. Recently, I was able to acquire a used one, so I figured it would be interesting to see how the Wii U stands up in late 2020. If this is your first time on the channel, don't be shy to leave a comment or subscribe. Also be sure to click like if you enjoy the video. First off, the system supports HDMI, which is a great upgrade from the Wii. Honestly, I didn't think it would make much of a difference, but I was wrong. Mario Kart 8 was the first game I tried playing, and the visuals were great, a massive upgrade from Mario Kart Wii. Going from the Switch to the Wii U, it definitely looks like it belongs. There's no noticeable downgrade. It runs smooth, no dropped frames or anything like that. Granted, I have a limited number of games currently available to test, but what I can test looks excellent. The visuals on the gamepad look extremely nice too, very crisp. The controller itself, with its touchscreen and wide form, looks like a pain to use, but it's surprisingly comfortable. I enjoy the feel of the triggers and the joysticks, and the touchscreen is a really good size. Considering I have a Switch and a tablet, I'm used to looking at touchscreens, and the Wii U gamepad has a great size and a nice clear visual. Although, because my game library is limited, I haven't played anything that uses the touchscreen in an important role or in creative ways with gameplay. Maybe you guys can suggest some games that I should pick up, especially ones that use the gamepad in really interesting ways. The main issue I have with the gamepad is its battery life. Because I got the system used, I don't have the stand or charging dock for it. I have to essentially keep it as a wired controller the entire time it's in use. Using the backwards compatibility for the system isn't as seamless as I had hoped, but it does work once it's loaded in. Syncing a Wiimote before going into the Wii console menu was not obvious, even though it should be. So I assumed it would be under settings, it's right there on the controller on the main page, but going into the settings and over to controllers, you have the ability to disconnect the Wiimotes, but not connect them. Eventually I did find it, I just thought it would be a little simpler than it was. When I loaded the Wii console aspect of it, it essentially turned off the Wii U entirely, and then loaded in an exact duplicate of the Wii console, and moving back to the Wii U was the exact same thing. I was hoping the Wii specific games would look better and have a noticeable upgrade in visual quality, but there wasn't any from what I can tell. They do run just as smooth, no issues with motion controls or input lag or anything of that nature. I do think it would be a cool feature to have something other than a duplicate from the TV to be displayed on the gamepad. I think it's a missed opportunity from the games that I tried. The physical size of the console is pretty small, fairly similar to the original Wii system, while the gamepad is about double the thickness of the Switch, while being a similar size in terms of width and height. A little bit bigger than the Switch, but not by much. The console has two USB ports and an SD slot. I have the 8GB system and it's not even close to being big enough. I tried playing Smash Bros, but ran out of space. I had only played Mario Kart 8 and New Super Luigi U beforehand. The SD card slot doesn't help either, as the only games that can be saved on an SD card is Wii games. An external hard drive is recommended for anyone who owns a Wii U. While I haven't had a chance to play most of them on the Wii U, a lot of games have been ported over to the Switch, where I have had a chance to play them. The system does have a lot of great first-party games: Splatoon, Mario 3D World, Breath of the Wild, Smash Bros., among many others. Where the games have an issue is third-party support. Maybe the touchscreen was difficult to develop for, maybe they were waiting for system sales to rise. I don't know, but it left a big hole in the game's catalog. On a side note, if you've never held a Wii U disc, the rounded edges are a surprisingly nice feature. The system also has a virtual console. The shop for the system looks much nicer than the one for the Switch. Big colorful icons, categories for searching, and lots of old systems. It makes browsing the shop quite a pleasant experience. As a test, I purchased Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64 on the virtual console, and it worked. The purchase went through, the download and install had no issues. I was loaded into the game in roughly 3 minutes from accepting the purchase. I know Nintendo won't support the Wii U Virtual Console forever, but as of December 23rd, 2020, the store still works, in Canada at least. The innovation with the console is something that still surprises me. I always heard about it, but actually using it is something different. Nintendo never seemed to follow the status quo. Their competition would make upgraded versions of their previous consoles, but didn't always have anything new and creative. The Nintendo Wii had motion controls, the DS had two screens, one was a touchscreen, the 3DS could create 3D visuals without the use of special glasses, and the Switch is a hybrid portable home console. The Wii U had its gamepad with separate screen showing the visuals without the use of an internet connection, as well as its support for Amiibo. I never got into the Amiibo craze. In fact, I still own an entire zero number of Amiibo, but the idea of them supplying additional content to games, even if it's just cosmetic, is pretty fascinating. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed using the system for the first time. The controller and visuals impressed me, the backwards compatibility for Wii worked great once it loaded in, and the list of games I've never had a chance to play really intrigues me. The lack of storage space is a massive downside though, as well as the lack of third-party support for games. Those can be a big focal point for many people who stay away, but the positives shouldn't be ignored. While I don't think 99% of people who own a Switch need to ever think about a Wii U at all, but if you're desperate enough to play a specific game, or for some reason do not own a Switch, even with all the sales that have been happening recently, there is definite value in the system, for the right price. The amount you would probably spend on the system, plus games and external hard drive, is probably going to be enough for you to justify buying a Switch instead. So very cheap and pre-owned is my recommendation. Just so everyone knows, the bundle I acquired was the system, gamepad, and 6 games, which are Mario Kart 8, New Super Mario Bros. U, New Super Luigi U, Smash Bros. For Wii U, Super Mario 3D World, and Lego City Undercover, and it was for $100 Canadian, which is currently around $78 American. I really can't recommend spending much more than that on the Wii U, unless the bundle you find comes with a great assortment of games. Otherwise, you might as well save up a bit longer and just get a Switch. But if you have one unplugged in your closet, maybe quarantine is a good time to plug it back in and give it another try. There is value to the system. I hope you all enjoyed my thoughts on the Wii U in 2020. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any games you want to suggest, don't be shy to leave a comment. Thanks for watching.